Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Levitius back with a brand new video. Before we begin, I want to say thank you so much for all the love and support in my last video. My first ever commentary went so well, and thank you so much for all the supportive comments. And we're going to improve day by day. We are racing at Le Mans in the GTWS Nations Cup exhibition season in the Group 1 cars. This race was a little chaotic because we had to drive the R92 Nissan Group C car from 1992, which is an absolute beast to drive with its turbo delay. You have to respect this car, or you're going to go into the barriers and your race will be over with the heavy damage. So if you guys do enjoy the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Thank you so much for all the new subscribers who joined the channel recently. And if we can also aim for 30 likes in this video, I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, take care, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys in a brand new video sometime soon. Peace. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is my qualifying lap for the 70-lap race of the Nations Cup race. Let's get into it. As we head down into the Dunlop curve, we make sure we slow down the car enough to get to the apex of turn 2 and turn 3 to get a decent exit in third gear.
Honestly, I think we should just get a banking.
Avoid the wheel spin.
On their
and as you can hear me say there, it's very important to just get a nice bank in because it's very difficult to get a perfect lap with these cars. They have a lot of turbo delay, and if you make a mistake, you probably lose a couple of seconds.
Lots of margin for error.
Get out of shape.
Lots of margin for error.
As you see, I came out of Tetra Rouge. I was very careful on the exit there because it's so easy to get a penalty if you run slightly wide. And for the fourth chicane, it was a pretty good run through there. We hooked up all the apexes and we made it nice and smooth through there. For the second chicane now, we hook up the first part very well, which sets it up for the last part as well, which is amazing for our exit down to Mulsanne corner. And a decent lap so far. As we head down to Mulsanne, we slow down at around about 120 meters out of the corner and get a really solid exit with no wheel spin as well. Pretty decent. And as we head down to Indianapolis, we lift off quite early just to keep the car nice and stable. And as we head now towards Arnage, the slowest corner on the track, by the way, we are going to outbrake ourselves ever so slightly, but we do maintain the minimum speed pretty well. And we get a little bit of wheel spin out of there. But it's been a solid lap so far, just keeping the overall momentum up on the car. Now, here's a very important part of the track, the Porsche Curves, the highest speed part of the track in terms of the corners, and let's see how we do it. We apex the first part at 280 kilometers an hour. This car is absolutely hooked up right now, but we did go a little wide there when we hit the curb at a very awkward angle, but we still did a decent job keeping the minimum speed up, pardon me. We did miss the apex there a little bit, it went wide.
Not the headwind, the tailwind is really messing up the balance of this car.
But yeah, as you can hear, there was a very bad tailwind going into this section, so it really was messing up the feeling that I had before this session. But we obviously did a pretty decent job overall, and as we cross the line, we're going to be qualifying in...
P4. I'll take it. Wow, look how close it is actually. Damn.
P4 was pretty decent considering the mistakes we made that lap. And as we move on now to the race, we're starting in P4 with 316.5. We got Kai in front of us, Lion in front of us, Bino behind us, Miji, which I'll mention later. And let's get into it. Lights out and away we go for 70 laps here at Le Mans. We get a very good launch compared to Kai. Maybe he wasn't actually paying attention and got a bit of wheel spin there. As we go side by side into turn 1 and then turn 2, we go all the way around the outside, which is an absolutely sublime move. As we get a lovely shot of all the cars going down into turn 5 and 6. Our beautiful green and blue liveried
tires are really cold.
R92. And yes, the tires were very cold at this stage
cold. I want to be careful
because we were sitting on the grid for about 2 minutes or so when we were doing the intro scene.
Okay, let's see what Iceman's doing with his setup here. Has he got a similar high downforce setup? Yeah, he's got more downforce than I do. Actually, no, he doesn't. Never mind. He's slightly faster than me on the straights.
As you can hear what I said there, you can see in the delta above, Iceman has got a very low downforce setup compared to me, and also Kai just flies right past us. I started realizing that maybe my setup was not optimal for racing, and thank you for the ghosting Gran Turismo 7. I don't think
he's got a low downforce setup, Kai.
But
this is good for us,
yeah,
though.
We're now on the slipstream of Kai, going down to the second chicane on the straight. It's very important to try and stay as close as possible to him, but it seems like it's not going to help us because we have another two drivers behind us in Miji and Binu who are just flying straight past us like it was nothing. So at this moment, I was very scared that we made the wrong decision here with the setup, but let's just keep going and see what happens, because honestly,
That's wild. Okay, we're running
we
a
were
very different
very
setup for these
fast
drivers
in the
up ahead.
Porsche Curves, so we can make up a lot of time there. It just depends where we are in the race. And as we head down to Mulsanne corner, we have to make sure we pick out our braking marker to not go into the back of the drivers in front of us. We're doing a decent job there, staying close to them, but we clearly don't have enough straight line speed to actually fight them at the moment. But the race is 17 laps long, so it's going to take a while to figure out what is actually going to help us with tire wear.
Okay, everyone's running low
And
downforce,
fuel.
it's fine. We'll become stronger in the last part of the lap here.
And as you can hear right there, I'm being somewhat positive, hoping that my high downforce setup will work later on. But as you
my
can
word.
see now,
He's not using any downforce, clearly.
Sonic just goes flying past us in a 787B. So I think he was about at least a second behind us before Indianapolis.
Oh,
so
no, this is gonna create carnage.
yeah, our car was not set up at all for straight line speed compared to these drivers. And as we go out of our nose, Bino gets a terrible exit. We almost go to the back of him because he misshifted his car. And as now we fly down to the Porsche Curves, pay attention to the amount of grip we have compared to Sonic in front of us in the 787B. As you can see, we roll a lot of speed into the apex of the first part of the Porsche Curves, and we almost get run off the track by Sonic, which is a little naughty, but going for a move there is very risky. So honestly, just fall back into formation and wait another day to get past him.
I've got a feeling the setup choice has been incorrect for the race.
As you can hear there,
We have to now deal with it.
I was definitely not that positive after seeing myself drop a few positions after the start I had. As we go for a move into a very uncharacteristic spot into the end of the lap in the Ford chicanes, and we get a very terrible
lovely.
exit though compared to Binu and Sonic, and they just fly right past us, which is not ideal.
No.
As you can see, I'm
This is
not
what I don't
happy.
need.
This is not what I need at all, because honestly, this is losing me so much time. If I was alone, I would be absolutely fine. But when you're racing other cars that are completely different in
I don't
terms
need
of
this.
setup, it is not ideal, because you always want the car with more top speed. If you're in a racing situation, it's always better to be the car with more top speed, generally speaking.
Yeah, this is not ideal, chap.
And as we head into Tetra Rouge, we get a very nice exit compared to Binu, who is in the dirty Sonic and the Mazda 787B. As we go around the outside, and now in the slipstream of Sonic, he's absolutely a legend for helping me out here, but to no avail. We have no straight line speed. Bino just flies straight past us, and we have to go back into formation, and as we pick out our braking marker going to the first chicane, we absolutely
Got so
send
much
it
more grip than them.
on Binu, and I'm not doing this on purpose, but he is braking so much earlier than I could, and yeah, this is what a perfect example of my setup being completely different in terms of setup to Binu's, and this is also something I want to talk about.
Oh, this is gonna be a long race.
I
Can't see
really
it.
don't like having setups in Gran Turismo 7. I feel like it's more of a gimmick than anything else, because that's the appeal in Gran Turismo 7 usually. You don't have to set up your car. It's arrive and drive, you know? So I'm not really happy with these setups,
Oh, mamma
and
mia.
I feel like it'll be better if they were just not available. So it's more about how the driver drives and not how well you know how to set up your car, because there's just so many variables that it'll take so long to figure out what actually is the optimal setup. And now as we head down to Mulsanne corner, we brake as late as possible, but Bino gets it stopped. Surprisingly, he braked a lot later than us, but to each their own. And we get a very good exit compared to Bino again. I think he misshifted once again. It seems like he's struggling on the exits with that setup he has.
Chad, this is not ideal.
As you can see, you know what's going to happen. We got past him in the acceleration, but Bino's going to fly
I have to be
right back
alone.
past
I just
us.
realized that now. I have to be alone to make this work.
And it's a completely different category. He's going like 20 kilometers an hour faster than me. So at this moment, we have to change our tactics now. We cannot overtake on the straights, but we can definitely make some moves into some corners that will definitely help us, as Bino covers the inside of our nose. And I just assume a normal racing line. Bino gets a terrible exit again there, and we almost go to the back again of him for the third time. So at this point, I'm just trying
these
to
drivers. It's just that now I'm stuck.
trying to make a move on him, trying to get him away from me, because this is just losing me so much time. As you can see, Sonic is driving away. As we head into the Porsche Curves, we're going to brake very late, carrying a lot of minimum speed into the corner, and we make a lovely move. And that is us back up to P6. And as we fast forward now, we're now behind Sonic, and he's
Come on,
very
stay close to Sonic.
fast.
Come on, we need his slip.
787B. Just watch this, ladies and gentlemen.
We need this slip.
We are just behind him.
This is so important for our
Going
race
down
to
into
get
the
away from
Porsche
the pack.
chicane on the first part of the Mulsanne straight. And by the end of this lap, you're going to notice that he is going to pull out about a 1.5 second gap. And it is just a completely different league. So, like I said earlier, we have to make our moves going into the Porsche Curves or somewhere where we can probably get a good run on them.
It's just there.
Because it's not going to happen on the Mulsanne straight. He's just going to get straight back past us, so we go make a move into one of the chicanes or into Mulsanne corner.
Wings. I can clearly see that. There's no wings.
Yeah, as you can hear, I was not happy. But as we go into the Porsche Curves, you're going to notice the delta here. He was about 1.3 seconds ahead of us, and we absolutely fly through the first part of the Porsche Curves, and we close that gap completely down to Mario Sonic, as he is just being practically pushed around right now. And he almost loses the rear there, probably a testament to how little downforce he's got on that car. And now as we head down into the chicanes, Mario Sonic managed to get the car stopped, which is pretty impressive. And coming out of the last part of the Ford chicane, we're going to get a very good run. And we're going to keep on piling on this pressure onto Mario Sonic. So it's the only thing we can do. But as you can see, we did a 319. The pace we could do in clean air is a minimum of 316. So it was imperative to get past him, but as we head into turn 2, he outbrakes himself because we applied so much pressure on him.
There's a lifeline.
And we absolutely sail past him, which gives us the best opportunity to break away.
Yeah,
as you can see,
first sector, we can actually have a clean run through the Porsche Curves.
on lap 4,
potential.
when we had a bit of a clean air, we pulled out a 2.5 second gap already on Mario Sonic, which just shows how much pace we had in the bag once we can get into a rhythm. And as you can see now, as we go through the Porsche Curves, it was about a 3 second gap to Kai ahead. It has already dropped to 2 seconds. We've gained a second in 3 corners. And as we go through the last part of the Porsche Curves, we gained another half a second. Our car is absolutely hooked up
Could be a pin, not sure.
for the high downforce curves of this Le Mans circuit. And now as we head into the final chicanes, once again, we get a very good first and second apex. The third and then the fourth apex, absolutely lovely stuff. We almost went off the track there, but we just did it right.
Lost a lot of time there.
And as you can see there, we did a 317.5 already,
bro.
1.5 seconds faster already with some clean air. And as we fast forward now to lap 6, nothing really happened. We just kept on closing the gap to P4 and P3 with a much lower downforce setup, it seems. But overall, we were faster when we were catching them. So we now have to try and strategize to try and get past these drivers in a beneficial location for us, so we can break away from them, so we don't get embroiled in another battle. And as we go down into the Michelin chicane, Kai is going to go a little deep, and we're going to get an amazing run on him. And it seems like he loses the rear and misshifts, so we get a lovely run on Kai, which is a gold dust to us right now, and he lets us through. It seems like he doesn't really want to fight us right now, which is a pretty sensible move right now, because the Italian is pulling away from us hand over fist right now, and he just lifts off, you can see in the background, and he gives us the corner into the Mulsanne corner. And I'm hoping that he would just let us go on and now catch the Italian.
Mamma
But
mia, that was scary.
I wouldn't have an issue if he wanted to get past me. That is racing for you.
Come on. Let's get Miji.
But now as we fly down to Indianapolis right now, Kai's gonna have a lovely run on us.
At a rate of knots now. He's coming. Oh no.
It's a lovely panning shot going into Indianapolis now. Kai is going to lift off and just let us have the line into Indianapolis, which is an amazing, legendary move from him. And I'm extremely grateful for that, because honestly, if we were battling, we probably would have lost a lot of time there. And as we now head into Arnage, we get a very lovely exit with no wheel spin as well, which is amazing feeling to have a clean air going into the Porsche Curves.
Then the Italian up here has got a relatively low downforce car. Kai's got a mid downforce car, and let's see. How much
as
we
you can
gain in
hear,
these corners now.
as you can see now, as we fly into the Porsche Curves, we get an amazing run into it. We apex at around 260 kilometers an hour, and we had a very good run through there, nice and smooth. We use all the curb available. We run a little wide there. We carried a little too much speed in, but we apexed it pretty well and kept the minimum speed up, and we gained around about half a second there. As we head now down to the Dunlop Ford chicane, we apexed it perfectly once again. It's very important that you don't use too much curb, because you can also unsettle the car and then lose the rear, but you have to use a decent amount of the curbs. And as we fast forward now onto lap 8, this is a couple laps later, We are now closed the gap down to around about
could be a
half a
pen.
second.
Yeah,
But
it's fine. It's only
going
half a second.
into Tetra Rouge, we cut just a little too much. But thankfully, we do have the slipstream, which helps us pull us along
Yeah, I think
on
I
the
want to
long
I want to get
Mulsanne
away from this
circuit.
Italian. I want to do the opposite. I want to like do an offset or something to them.
Yes, as you can hear right there, I was adamant that I wanted to get some clean air so we can try and break away from the two drivers ahead. As Iceman is absolutely in another planet of his own. I just noticed right now, he's 22 seconds ahead of us in 8 laps. I don't know what Iceman was eating this morning, but he was on another level today. As you can see now, Lion and Miji are quite close together, which has given us the opportunity to consider undercutting them. And now as we head into Arnage, we go a little wide and we have to serve our penalty now, which is not ideal. We're probably going to be down by at least 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds by the time we reach the pits. But fortunately, we did gain some time going through the Porsche Curves, but overall, we're going to still be behind them by about 1.5 to 2 seconds.
Okay, cool
And
tires.
I apologize for the audio desync, which is really unusual for my software, but as you can see, the camera up ahead did desync, but as we go fast forward now into lap 9, we did keep a decent gap to the
That
line at 1.6
driver up ahead, he's got such good
seconds
grip
or
to the
so.
corners and is fast in the straights. I don't know how.
And now as we head into the final chicane, once again, Miji is making his pit stop, and Zé as well. And let's see where Miji comes out
let's
now,
go.
going into
Got a
turn
pin.
1. This is going to be really important. As you can see, driver up ahead in line has got a penalty, which is amazing for us because you lose a lot of time serving the penalty just after Arnage. As we go down into turn 2 and 3, we go very deep, and Miji makes an amazing overcut on us, which is not ideal for us because we put all that effort in to undercut him, and to no avail did not really help us. And as we fast forward now, later on into the first chicane on the Mulsanne straight, we get a very good run on Miji, but
Why
as
are you
you'll
not going
hear,
in his slip? Why
I
is
was
this
not happy.
Italian doing that? Go in his slip, bro.
the Italian was not driving in the slipstream
you.
of the driver ahead, which was basically just slowing us both down
my
because
word.
I needed him to stay with the driver ahead so we can still like be in the race for P2. As we fly down to the second chicane, the Michelin chicane, we get a very good run in the first part, and we hook up the second part and get a lovely exit going down to Mulsanne corner now. We're just focusing on not losing too much time to the German up ahead right now. I just want to stay just behind the Italian as he drags me along, because I'm pretty sure when you serve a 1 second penalty in these cars, you're probably losing at least around about 2 seconds of time. And honestly, I think the penalty system isn't the best around this circuit because honestly, when you get a half-second penalty, you're probably losing about 1.5 seconds of time. So
Very odd
it's
behavior by this Italian.
it's very important
odd.
to just stay within the track limits as much as possible. But as you can see, I'm still complaining about the Italian and weaving on the straights where I just don't see the point, but to each their own, you know. As we head now down to Indianapolis, we're flying in there at 350 kilometers per hour, which is insane speed. As the Italian goes a little deep there, we get a very good run going towards Arnage right now. As we go all the way around the outside, a very opportunistic move, and we do make it happen until we lose the rear
Sorry.
and almost take the Italian out. As you can hear, I was
Dude, the car is so difficult.
very apologetic,
drive
and
there.
I almost lost the car due to that very aggressive turn
ideal.
delay. But it's fine, we're still in the race, a lot can still happen, and as you can see, Lion lost a lot of time, even though the Italian and I had a little accident coming together.
Damage for the guy ahead, I think.
And shockingly, the dirty air from the Italian's car threw Lion off, and he hit the wall, which I
Damage.
can confirm now he had damage.
Damage. It's good for us.
He only had front damage, front splitter damage, but that was enough to lose him a lot of performance coming out of the mid to high speed corners. As we head now into the final chicanes, he gets a very bad run through there, but we can't do anything about it. There's no move to make, and he gets another penalty.
Yeah, okay, we'll get past him easily. Just need to play.
The
relax a
last
bit now.
lap and a half for the German was not ideal for him, and this is absolutely perfect for us. But as you
It
can see
doesn't
now,
seem like he has damage. Never mind.
we fast forward. He did have damage. I can confirm he
he
did have
did.
damage, but he still had an amazing car for the straights. As now we head down into for the Forza chicane, they are side by side, Lion and Miji. But as you can see, Lion doesn't get the move done because of that damage, and they're just losing each other time now. As the German gets another penalty going into that corner. Honestly, he is not doing a good job right now. He's throwing everything away. And now as we fast forward down to Indianapolis on lap 11, the German is going to be serving the penalty in Arnage very soon. But as you can see, Migi goes wide, and there's contact between the German and the Italian, which is amazing for us as we can close the gap on them as we make a beautiful move into Arnage online. And that's up to P3 now with 6 laps to go.
Let's get P2.
And as we fast forward on to lap 12, you're going to notice how much more aggressive I can be on the brakes with my car compared to the Italian, as we gain at least about 3 or 4 tenths in the braking zone alone. As now we follow the Italian going into the S's and then on to Tête Rouge, you're going to notice how much time we're going to gain going through Tête Rouge and onto the Mulsanne straight. We absolutely hook up the curb perfectly.
Here we go.
And now we're in the slipstream, which is amazing for us as we're going to be dragged along for the entire lap now. In this situation generally though, you would like to stay behind the faster car on the straights. However, I really wanted to make sure I can unsettle this Italian from pulling away from me very easily. So going down into the first chicane on the Mulsanne, we're going to go for a very aggressive dive bomb, and we make it stick, which is absolutely amazing to know that we can probably do a bit of an aggressive move on this Italian.
He's going to get past me, but I need to like...
It seems like he wasn't so trustworthy of his car's capabilities right now. As you can see, he's going to fly right back past us, going down into the Michelin chicane. We're just going to now go back into his slipstream as he defends very aggressively, but it's fair racing nonetheless. And as now we go into the Michelin chicane, the ghosting is activated once again, which I just don't understand why it's a thing. But moving on now, going down to the Mulsanne corner. This is going to be a very spicy battle. Honestly, if we can try and get this move done...
time this correctly,
Yes. If we get this move done to Indianapolis, it'll be important to us because we can now then pull away in the Porsche Curves because we got a lot more downforce than Migi. As we get a very good run into Mulsanne corner and a good exit, this gives us opportunity now to make a lovely slipstream down to Indianapolis on him. But it's always going to be very difficult because his car is easily 10 to 15 kilometers an hour faster than us without slipstream. So we just have to hang in there and try and wear him out, and he'll probably make a mistake under all this pressure eventually. And as we head down to Indianapolis, we lift off, we hook up the apex really well, brake very late, and we gain a couple of tenths of him in the braking zone up ahead. And we almost lose the rear on the curb, but we just make it stick. And going into Arnage, we go a little wide, but we keep the minimum speed up. That was a bit of a characteristic line I was using throughout the race, which was not orthodox, but it worked out.
To get past him.
As you can hear,
see already.
I was still a bit apprehensive that we could actually make this work, but
penalty, please.
As we move on, it looks like the Italian does drive off the track, but he manages just to keep it probably a pixel on the track and doesn't receive a half-second penalty, which is, I was completely shocked he didn't get a pen there.
So much understeer.
And as you're going to hear now as well, I was a bit confused.
I don't know how he went off the track there and then didn't get a pen for that, so...
However, I can confirm he did lift off coming out of the Porsche Curves and didn't get a penalty because of that. But as we now fast forward later on, going into Tête Rouge, then onto the long Mulsanne straight once again, we get a lovely exit and we're close up on the Italian, which is going to give us another opportunity to try and think of making a move later in the lap. In this situation, it's also very important to keep your cool because you need to expect to be re-overtaken if you just made an overtake in the early part of the lap because of the slipstream effect. And as we head down into the Porsche chicane, once again, we're going to brake very late and go try and sneak for a move down the inside there, but the Italian covers us off and he gets a very solid exit right there. You just have to tag along with the Italian for a little bit longer.
Seems like he's really
and just stick with him. Yes, he was struggling a little bit on tires because of the lack of downforce he had, but he was still keeping it in a straight line and doing it a very good job considering how much less grip he had than me. And as we go around the outside now, going down into the Michelin chicane, we're gonna go for a very audacious move and make it stick, and we get it done under the brakes and get a very good exit going down now to Mulsanne corner. However, as I said earlier on, I did make the move earlier in the lap, and he's going to fly back past us very shortly, possibly down into Mulsanne corner, and yes, he does. Absolutely sails by past us. But the thing for us now is our plan has worked. We've kept him close as possible going into Indianapolis as he gets a terrible exit
which allows us to stay as close as possible, which gives us a run into Indianapolis right now as we short shift into 5th, just because we want to get a bigger run on this Italian, which does help us because we're only going to get past him now going in the final part of the straight as we just avoid contact, and the Italian just lets us through, which was very surprising at the time. I thought we were going to have to
just let me
fight very hard for that, but honestly, as you can hear, I was pretty shocked as well. And as we head into Orange now, we're going to get a very clean run through there. Beautiful, with no wheel spin whatsoever. And this is our chance now to secure P2 and drive away into the distance. However, it's very important not to get overconfident as I take a really big gulp of water, as it's very hot now in the summer in South Africa, as we carry a lot of speed into the Porsche Curves right now, and we build our gap up to the Italian behind us. But as I said, it's very important not to get overconfident in the situation, and in this moment I was really like, okay, let's go, we have done it, we finally up to P2. That felt so good having clean air for once.
And as you heard, I was very happy to have some clean air. But as you heard there, smooth and steady wins us the race. But as we go into the S's right now, just before the Tete Rouge, we're going to go on the throttle slightly too soon, and we lose P2 once again.
My gosh, dude, the tires are going. Oh my word, Liam!
And as you can hear there, I was very frustrated with myself, but luckily we're still in the race. And as we fast forward now onto the second to last lap into the Porsche Curves, we get a very good run on Michi as we look to make a little sneaky move into the Porsche Curves as we get a little bit of aero wash and hit the wall, but luckily no damage. We still have a chance to win this race. We're still with a shot to get P2, and we get a very solid exit of the final part of the Porsche Curves as we fast forward now to the S's. And my mindset on the final lap was just to absolutely send it, win it or go home, or in this case get second place or go home, at least thinking you tried. As we get an amazing run through Tete Rouge on the final lap, we're going to absolutely go balls to the wall and send it on Michi going into the next chicane to keep him under this pressure. And we get an amazing run. We're still in the slipstream here as we're reaching around about 360 kilometers an hour, which is an absolutely insane speed, as we are looking to go around the outside into the fourth chicane as we brake very late, and then we lose the rear going into the second part as our tires are just absolutely screaming for grip at this point. But honestly, that was worth a try. As you can hear, I tried. It was worth trying than not trying at all. And as we fast forward now to the end of lap 17, I was just going to bring it home as fast as possible, try and keep under pressure, because we had amazing pace this entire race. The fight back from P7 to P3 was an amazing experience, and as you can see there,
GG's.
I ran a
Dirty
little
air.
wide due to the dirty air from Michi, but overall I'm very happy with this result. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with my final reaction, and thank you so much for watching the video, and ciao ciao.
Oh my word. GG's, well done. Woo! My word, chat. What a race. What a race, chat. Woo! That was crazy. Oh my word, bro. Dude, it's so difficult, man. When I went for the move, I lost the rear going into the braking zone. I'm surprised I caught it, honestly. Whoo! GG's, everyone. That was good. I think that's still 300 points, though. And that's still 300 points. I'll take it. That was a very good race. That was a very nice race. A fight back from P7, P8. Was that 300 points? Yes, 305, chat.